Welcome to Mini Moderns. My name's Simone and thank you for joining me on my tiny corner on the miniature interweb where we're here to think big, build small. So let's get into it. So now we're on part 2 of my summer and beach accessories, which was inspired by my miniature prompt journal. I explained in the previous video that I used this journal to get a prompt, and then from that prompt, all of my ideas flourish. So how to use this prompt book: you select a prompt or at random, or you already have one in mind. You have a start date. You create your awesome prompt and then fill in the end date, what scale it is, what material you use. We're going to take before and after pictures, and this is just a great way to keep a log of everything that you've done. I also use my Dollhouse note and sketchbook. It's where I jot down all of my ideas, and in this case it was the beach bag turn miniature accessories and scenes. There will be a link in the description where you can get both of these books from Amazon, and also the prompt book is available in my Etsy store as well as a printable. They're also great if you're a teacher and if you like to kind of teach these kind of skills. You can just print out the sheets, hand them out to your little students, and boom, you've got yourself some nice little prompts to work with. And here's my lovely sketch of my ideas. I'm going to take a photo of this, stick it into my journal, and when I finish all of my accessories, I'll take a photo and stick that into the journal, which you'll get to see at the end of the series. So the last video we made a beach towel. This time I'm going to show you a couple of techniques on how to make a beach ball. So let's get into it. So my first technique is going to be using some DAS air dry clay. And for all of these techniques, I'm going to be starting the same way, using foil as my main structure. I'll also be using a circle stencil just to make sure I get the right size each time and a nice perfect circle. And if you're a member of my Patreon, you get to take a sneaky look at my behind the scenes. There's a technique that didn't make it to the video because I need some tweaking on that. So if you are on my tier 2 and up on my Patreons, you'll be able to see that video, which will be coming out very soon if it's not out already. The mistakes that were made, but the idea was there, so definitely check that out. And when it is ready for everyone to see, I'll definitely make a fresh new video. I'd like to take this time to shout out all my Patreons as well. Thank you so much for being there and showing your support, and a massive huge shout out to Suki Tabar for being part of my mini structures. Thank you so very, very much. And guys, if you want to be part of my Patreon, check out the link in the description. You can join for absolutely free. I do a mini Monday post every week, and also some free printables and all of that catching up stuff. But anyway, on with the video. So I'm just going to keep on layering up this foil until I've got a nice ball that is not quite the size of the circle, but it's enough that I can, once I put my layer of clay around it, it will fit that circle nicely. So you want to squeeze it nice and tight and get the ball as round as you possibly can. Now I'm happy with this circle. I'm going to use some of my air dry clay and just stick this all the way around. I'm just adding layer by layer, piece by piece, and using the water as well to smooth it down. So we're just going to do this until we've got the whole ball covered. Okay, now we're just going to roll it around in our hands and make it smooth. And this is where the stencil comes in really handy to get that real circular shape. I'm just going to keep on adding water to the air dry clay and then pushing it through the stencil so it kind of takes the shape of the circle. Oh, little man, my little baby boy, he decided to get in the mix. Hello, son. I hope you don't mind, his little hands will pop in from time to time. Just the way it is, guys. When you got kids and you're trying to craft, they always like, oh, it's playtime, let's get involved. Anyway, now we're going to use the stencil to kind of push the circle through until we kind of follow that smooth shape of the circle, and then give it a nice good roll. You definitely want to have wet hands for this as well. It just helps the whole process. So you should end up with a really nice smooth looking ball like this that fits perfectly in our stencil. I like using this technique because if you need to make the same size every time, you can just measure it out on your little stencil each time. So before we go any further, once I've let this set and dry, I then use some white acrylic paint to paint the whole thing. And this is because I'm going to be adding some UV resin to it later, and it will stop the resin from seeping in once you put the acrylic paint on first, and also makes the air dry clay waterproof, so it's a win-win, you know what I mean? So I'm going to go ahead and paint this whole thing white, let it dry, and then we'll do some more layers. So out of all the processes I'm going to show you, this one is definitely the most time consuming in terms of waiting for the paint to dry. But I do like the effect of painting on this because you can kind of give it a realistic look. And that's what I try to go for with this. So first, I just mark out where I want my different sections to be. After a lot of faffing about, I figured out where I want my sections to be. And again, I'm going to just use some acrylic paint and just paint each of my sections. I'm going to go with the classic red, white, blue, green type peach ball. And it's going to be a layer or an upon layer thing. As I said, this process is literally watching paint dry. So I'm going to do the first layer, let it dry, another layer, let it dry. You get the thing. We are slowly getting there, guys. But don't laugh at my paintbrush, okay? I know this is totally inappropriate for painting miniatures, but it's all I have right now. But I do have some more stuff in my Amazon basket. Goodness, Amazon and my basket. It stays full, guys. It stays full. This brush is painful to use. I need to look for some smaller ones. I don't know if I have any, so don't come for me in the comments about my paintbrush. But we get the general idea, okay? I'm just going to keep on painting this and we're going to just add some more layers and then come back. We are really watching paint dry right now, guys. Okay, I've done a bunch of layers. I've let the colors seep in and get a little bit deeper and brighter, so I'm happy with that. And now I'm going to try and bring this to life a little bit because right now it feels quite flat as it is. So I'm thinking if I add some black streaks along the seam lines, I can make this pop some. I had to contact my sister at this stage because she's a real artist. I'm talking proper. I'll leave a link in the description for her Instagram if you want to check it out. Art by Roxy Lou. Very, very good artist. So when it comes to painting and stuff, I contact her. I'm like, I don't know how to do this. Tell me what to do. And she kind of explained, you know, just do some thin streaks going across and smudge it in a little bit. So I followed some instructions and hopefully it conveys and it comes across good. You guys can let me know at the end how we did. But she said, like, brush it on and wipe it off and give it texture and give it flavor. So that is basically what I'm trying to do using my crusty old thick brushes. Still at it with the thick, but I'm getting there. And I also found a lid. I think it was from a fabric softener lid. And it was the perfect size for my ball. So now I have somewhere to rest my ball. I can hold the ball in the lid, let it dry and rotate it. So this is going to be my go-to ball holder.
What?
Wow, that sounds wild. But yeah, so you can see here now, I'm just going to paint the lines and then I'm going to just see if I can just smudge them in a bit just to give it some shading. So I'm going to go around each section and do something like this. Work with me, guys, work with me. So let me go ahead and finish the rest and I will show you how it looks. I think the paint job is finished, guys. So I've got some highlights, some lowlights, some extra detail on there. And now we can actually add some UV resin just to give it that extra pop of color. I'm using my ball holder so I do not have to hold the ball while I paint it or gloss it. And as I said, the UV resin is going to give it that extra layer of waterproof. So if you do use it in your minis and you want it to be bouncing in water, it will. I'm super happy with how this looks, guys. I really am. As I'm going to be using my paintbrush to apply the UV resin, I've got a little silicone beaker with some isopropyl alcohol to leave my brush in there so that I can still use it again. I found that it works really well of getting rid of any resin and residue so I can still use this brush. This is now going to be my resin brush. So now I'm just going to put a nice thin layer all the way around this top part here. I'm going to let it cure and then I'm going to do the next layer and just keep rotating it until I'm happy with the layers of the UV on there. So once this top part is completely dry and not sticky, I just remove it, turn it over, add my UV again, and then put it back in to cure. And I'm just going to keep on doing this. I have to hold the ball up slightly to get the top part as well, and then just let that set whilst I'm holding it. But again, you can see all the different shadings. I'm really, really happy with this. I'm going to just hold this a little bit because I think if I put it down, yeah, I'm going to use my fingers to prop this up and just hope it doesn't cure to my fingers. So here are the final results for technique number 1 using air dry clay. I love how this has turned out. I think the extra hand painted details has worked nice. Let's get on to technique number 2. So we're going to make the base just as we did before with the circle stencil and the foil. Now we're going to be using some polymer clay. I'm going to be using some Fimo soft clay. And just like before, I'm going to just wrap the clay around my foil really nice, tight and snug to get a lovely circle. And again, I'm using my stencil to make sure that I get roughly the same size as before. So just keep on rolling it until you just got the perfect circle. And this is pretty cool. We got something to work with, guys. It sits nice and snug on my little stencil. I'm really happy with this. I can now transfer my ball into my little ball holder, and I'm going to use a silicone tool to make the imprints on this and work out my sections instead of using a pencil like I did on the air dry clay. So I've roughly got my sections how I want them to be. Not perfect, but they're fine. I suggest if you try this method to really take your time when making the sections. But the good thing about using this clay is that you can smooth out any imperfections and mistakes that you make. As you can see here, I actually pushed my ball into the holder a little bit too tight and it ended up with a imprint of the rim. I can easily smooth this out by just pressing my fingers or using the other end of my tool just to smooth that out, and then continue making my sections. I still have some parts in the section that are not as smooth as I would like them to be, but I try my best to get the bumps and pimples out of it the best I can. But now I'm going to use some chalk pastel and water to paint this. I'm going to make this beach ball white, yellow and pink, as those are the colours that I'm going to use for my final set of this beach and summer accessory kit. Like I mentioned in my previous video, a few of these items that I make will be up for sale, and as a bundle the whole project will be available, so you can get the whole thing as a bundle as well. And I just love these colours. I think they're very nice and summery, and I'm excited to show everything once it's done, but one step at a time. So once I finish painting this, I'm going to put it in the oven, let it bake, then give it another layer of the chalk pastel, and then we're going to glaze it with the UV resin just like we did before. I've got to be honest here, I tried to go in with the shading like I did before, but I think because the colours I've used, I don't think I should have gone with the black. Do you know what I mean, guys? It's looking a bit too much. Maybe I should have gone with a deeper pink instead of the black. So I tried to go over that with some more pink just to soften it a little bit. So that's a mistake I think I've made on my part. As I've mentioned previously, when it comes to painting, I am still kind of learning colours and what works. So this was a bit of a learning process for me. But it's fine, it's fine. I said we still have another technique. I just know in the future, if I'm trying this technique, instead of using black for the shading, I'll just go for a darker tone of whatever the colour is that I'm using with the chalk pastel. At least I can wipe this off. Goodness, just making a mess of this right now. But not to worry, I will continue, and as I like before, just use my UV resin, and then we're going to have ourselves another option. I'm going to be honest, the paint job isn't the best in this, but I will learn from my mistakes, get a little bit neater, a little bit steadier with the hand and some smaller paint brushes. But on the whole, the technique works well. You just need a neater paint job and then we think we got it. And now it's time for our final option. I'm going to be using some templates to make these. I have some templates that we're going to need for the rest of this project for buckets, spades, and this one here is going to be for our beach ball. So I'm going to go ahead and use that template, and these other templates will be used in our next video when we're making the buckets and spades. But what I'm going to do now is take the beach ball template and then cut around some polymer clay. I'm going to use a variety of different colors of polymer clay for my beach ball. I'm also going to use a few sculpting tools and some silicone brushes to help me make the shape. Just like before, I'm going to be using the tin foil to make my ball. And then I'm just going to be adding the polymer clay shapes that we've cut to this. This personally is my favorite technique because it's a lot faster, and I don't have to do a bad paint job. And I like the realism of this by the end, and you'll get to see. And when it comes to the colors of your polymer clay, I actually have a set that my wonderful sister got me for Christmas last year, and I'm only just getting to use it, so I'm really happy. There's so many colors, and it happened to be the colors that I need for this project. But you can select whatever colors you want, or if you've got a variety of colors, you can make them. Or if you just have white polymer clay, you can add either acrylic paints or the chalk pastels to make your own colors. So now when I'm adding the strips, I'm trying to make sure that the seam line is as close together as possible, and I'll be trimming off any excess pieces that I don't need. I'm just going to follow the color pattern that you would normally get on a beach ball. So it's usually 3 strips of white and then 3 of whatever other color you want. As I said, when I place them on here, I'm just eyeballing right now just to make sure that it's the shape that I want, and then I can trim off any extra pieces that I don't need. So I'm going to go ahead and lay all these so you can see what it looks like. Another few tips to mention as well is using some gloves to avoid any fingerprints, because you're going to need your fingers to kind of press down like what I'm doing here, kind of smooth down those seam allowances that we got earlier. So definitely make sure you have some gloves on, unless you want fingerprints all over. I know you can kind of wipe some stuff away, but polymer clay does like to pick up fingerprints and dust, so just be a little bit mindful of that. So now I'm putting on the final strip, and you're going to have to do a lot of tweaking for this piece. There will be a lot of overlapping with this, but the polymer clay is quite forgiving and it allows you to kind of mold into the shape. So really take your time with this. You definitely don't want to rush it. If you've got any reference pictures to help you along, that's very useful, but generally you just want your strips to be as equal as possible, and then I'm just going to be using my blade to cut off any excess pieces that overlap or just pull them off. So the general shape of my beach ball is nearly done. I'm just closing up any little gaps that we can see in there, just going all the way around and closing up any gaps and just getting any imperfections out the way. But I really do like this technique, and the key to this as well is making sure that your initial ball that you use, make sure that's a lovely round circle so you get the best out of this shape. But this is looking really, really good. I'm very happy with this so far. It's looking clean, it's looking neat. I'm just going to press this down on my tile just to make sure it sits flat. I'm going to use a little piece of polymer clay and a circle cutter just to make the little knob or the circle that you'll get on top of a regular beach ball, and then just press it down, make it just a little bit flat. But this just gives me the nice perfect circle shape. I can push that down to flatten it, and then that looks like it's kind of sewn in their little seamless top. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on the bottom as well. But this is looking really nice, guys. Let me know in the comments which technique you prefer. Do you like any of them? Would you try any of them? As I said previously in another video, a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be making will be for sale, either as individual items or as part of a package. So the previous beach towel we made is already up in my Etsy store. This one here will be part of a package with some small items. We'll be making the rest of those items in the next video, and then everything that we do make in this mini series will be available for sale as a huge bundle. So keep a lookout, see what's hot and what's not, guys. But this is looking really good. I'm so happy with this. And so to clean and finish this up and give it that bit of a realistic look, I'm going to be using some of my UV resin just like I did before, just so it's got that extra beach ball shine. And here she is, our final beach ball, clean, realistic, and I love to see it. So there you have it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you've got some value from it, and if you have, comment down below and let me know what it was. Guys, this has been such a fun experience. We've got so much more fun summer beach accessories coming, so make sure you stay tuned for the next video where we're going to be working on some beach bucket and spades. Don't forget to join me over on Patreon. Check out the link in the description to all of my socials. Also join me on Facebook. It's a small private group, like I said, but love to have you guys there. And thank you so much for watching. Bye bye. Like, share, subscribe.